I know this video is called How to Arrange House Music or something along those lines, but honestly, you can do whatever the hell you want. House was born from trying something new and breaking the rules that previous genres had done, so have fun and do what you want. With that said though, today we'll be arranging a track that I previously came up with from this video right here. I made it last week and it's been exactly a week since I last heard it. I like to give my ears a break between sessions so I can kind of come back fresh. Not necessarily a week, but at least a day or so. So we'll probably do some light mixing today, but I'll save most of the heavy mixing for the next session as well as mastering. And lastly, for Earth Day, which was a couple days ago, I brought back the Stay Wavy design and got some nice high quality tote bags for sale on the site in case you're interested. And with these, 100% of the profits will be going to the Ocean Conservancy nonprofit. So thank you ahead of time for picking one up. All right, let's give this a shot. So you can go. This track, let's hear. Let's listen. This is way slower than I remember. Oh yeah, I remember this part. This part's cool. Okay, like I mentioned in the last one, I recorded all of this in one by one, unmuting one pad at a time, just grabbing a little 4-bar loop or 8-bar loop, depending on how long your pattern was. In my case, a lot of these were just a single bar or 2 bars. And then from there, it was just one long recorded file. I just chopped that up, put them in their appropriate places, didn't even name them properly. Let me go ahead and get this out the way. And let me get this out the way so we get a bit more real estate. And here, from here, I basically got both my synth parts, right? Synth part A, synth part B. If you want to stay organized, I try to kind of sort of color code these things. I try to use some sort of intensity. And another tip when recording your synthesizers in, at least for me, if we zoom in here, there's a bit of a tail on this, right? You can kind of hear that it goes further than this, because there's a little bit of reverb on there. I like saving that stuff because it helps a lot when it comes to making transitions into other parts. But you don't necessarily have to, because I hear music all the time that just has these like abrupt stops to their samples or abrupt stops to their synth stuff, and you can kind of hear the loopiness of the track. I prefer to mask that a bit, so I like to keep the tail end of stuff. And the way you get rid of that, if you wanted to do it accidentally, is I just hit Command E after I've highlighted a section, and if you hit Command J, it'll consolidate that into a new clip, cutting off anything past that. But I don't want to do that, so I'm going to undo my actions here, but I will just cut off and delete those, but they still live in this clip. Does that make sense? So, okay, we're here. Let's get some more real estate space. Forgive me for using this screen. I was trying to use my monitor, but that thing's just a hunk of junk. This we can get rid of. I personally like to go and kind of get my marble, is kind of how I always think of it or like refer to it, where you get this big chunk of material, right? And from there you can kind of just start chiseling away at your idea. So this synth part's cool, the B part, but this is the main part over here. And I want to zoom out a little bit, and I'm just going to put this pretty far away because I don't want to override it. Now looking at all this stuff, I can get rid of all these things because I already have those recorded down here. And from here, it's really simple. I'm just going to go and highlight all of this and duplicate for days, right? We'll go up to that synth part and we can leave that there. Audio 7 here, this is for the sculpt. I brought it back from the desk because when I get the idea going, right, like I did in that previous video, it's not the end all be all. I'm probably going to end up adding something else later because it was just such a rough sketch, a rough idea. So I'm still going to be doing some of the creating in this moment or in this process. So I'm just going to write this as sculpt 2. I'll drag this down. Man, these colors are harsh. One second, let me fix these colors. Oh my God, that is so much better. All right, when it comes to the intro, it could be a couple things. I know that this little synth line here is kind of a supporting piece I'm going to go ahead and press 0. This is another thing I've recently learned. I haven't always done this. It's kind of beneficial. It's kind of nice. Using 0 instead of delete just disables the clip, but leaves it there in case you want to reactivate it, or you can just go in and reactivate like a simple little section of it. Right? So it just allows you to take individual little parts out, but not completely destroy the track. I know you can copy paste and move things over again later, but this is honestly a lot quicker. So, all right, intro. Yo, this actually kind of works. I accidentally have it soloed, but it actually kind of works. So let me go ahead and zoom in a little bit just so your eyes aren't broken by the end of this. I'm going to do that. So I'm just going to go ahead and say, you know what? Goodbye. Unsolo this. And just kind of bring something in a little early before the whole thing comes in. What does this sound like here? Ah, did you hear that? So that's actually another important part to bring up. So when you are recording in your drum machine and you're muting and unmuting the different pads, sometimes like a hi-hat might have some reverb, or a longer crash might have a little tail that's still going that will get recorded into the next loop. So you can hear it here at the beginning. But, right, that's what we want, is that, but what we're listening to is a little bit of leftover of this. Right, but it's kind of cool, to be honest. And you know what I'm going to do is I'm going to just go ahead and take this and move it up here. I'm going to color code this. Let's see, can I find another version of barf green? Yeah, I'll go with this khaki taupe color. And now I'm going to take this section of silence, copy paste here, here, and select this whole clip. And I'm going to consolidate that into one solid clip. And actually, let me go ahead and do this again. There's a little bit of leftover because there was a lot of reverb on there. And I'm going to consolidate this as a clip, but cut this off and now duplicate this section. I hope you're still with me. This gets a little crazy. I know. I'm just duplicating this the whole way over because I created a new clip without that little hi-hat at the beginning. But I've taken that as a new idea and put it here. And this would be really cool if I just duplicated this a couple times. You can't even see it on the waveform, right? That's how dead silent it is. And that's how impossible it is to see. What if I turn the gain all the way up? Right there. That's all you're seeing. That it's super, super silent. But I like the sound. I like the sound of it, and I like the vibe of it. I don't like it that often though. All right, cool. So I'm gonna do that. That's kind of cool. I like that. All this other stuff kind of coming in all at once. No way. You gotta go. You gotta go. You can go. Y'all can go. Yeah, okay, that works. Let's see, I'm gonna play it from the beginning again. And honestly, it just kind of comes down to like going back to the beginning, see how one part flows into the next, and from that part flowing into the next, and see if it all works. So see how that hi-hat part changes? That was actually part of the pattern, but I actually wanted to stay a bit more steady right now. So I'm just taking that quick one bar and repeating that here. That's the hi-hat. And if I wanted, I can select this little section here and paste it here. Right, so boom, cut that out as well. Cut this out. These are just the lead parts. I usually have about, I don't know, maybe 16 bars before I kind of go into the first breakdown thing. Again, you can do whatever you want. I used to think that most of my house tracks, or I still kind of aim for it, honestly, but Most of my house tracks, I try to make them around 4 minutes, 50 seconds, 5 minutes, 20 seconds, depending on the BPM and all that stuff. But in today's day and age, honestly, with a lot of music coming out on like Spotify and different listening platforms, you kind of just make the music as long as you want it to be. And that's a lot more fun to me. You can hear a lot of my past EPs that I've recently released are just kind of like the most random lengths. I think I released like a 12-minute song not that long ago. And then some tracks are like 3 minutes. So if it feels right, it feels right. And sometimes when I'm trying to force something to be longer than it should be, it sounds worse and it doesn't feel as good. So yeah, don't stick yourself too hard when it comes to, oh, it needs to be exactly 32 bars before the first breakdown. That breakdown needs to be 16 bars, and then the kick comes in for 8, and then the other 8 needs to be, just don't even sweat it. You're fine. So here's another thing I can do to add some movement, like just to keep it not that repetitive. I can go ahead and add an auto filter. I'm going to add auto filter. I usually use the SP950 plugin, but again, I'm trying to keep this as simple and as accessible as possible, which is why I'm not going to be bringing out the big boy Nord on this one as badly as I want to. I want to really bad. And I might, because I might just tell you to just use electric piano or whatever it's called in live and call it a day. But I'll try to not, right? So, okay. I'm going to go hit A, auto filter. We can turn our filter down. I'm going to set this grid a lot bigger. All right, so the whole track starts with the sample, and I want the sample to be heard. But I also want the sample to kind of come in and out, and I want it to come back in here and then start up there. So we'll put a little bit of a curve here and a little bit of a other type of curve there. All right, that's cool. I'm gonna go ahead and add some chorus on here. A little bit of resonance. That feels good. Let's add a little bit of reverb as well. Let's go back to the beginning. I actually like my reverb going into my chorus. Turn that high cut off, turn the low cut on, get rid of some of that bassiness. Yeah, I like this. Honestly, effects help so much. This is just way too loud for me, this little clap sound or snare. Awesome, so right here I can feel that I want a bass line to come in or something to change. I mean, I can go in and like, you know, do a couple little edits here on the kick, maybe do, move this kick over and get rid of this one to do that little jerk. Right, just little things here and there. You kind of start adding, you kind of start working your way across the track, going back and forth, listening to a lot of this stuff. And it just helps with moving the track forward and just kind of keeping things entertaining, for the lack of a better term. Another thing I'm going to do is just type in open hat. Sure, I'll take that. And under this here, which I'm just going to go ahead and name hats, I'm going to open up another audio track. This is just another random sample. And I'm going to put this in here. And hi-hat open main. I'm calling it the main because this is going to be the one that gives it a bit more power. And I'm going to do this old school style. This is how I used to make music a long time ago, was just manually programming in all my drums like this. I would do 4, bam, come back to the beginning, boom, wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. See what that sounds like. Oh, that's going to be way too loud. I already know that. Let me put it at -20. And work its way up. Not bad. Let's go ahead and pitch those down a bit. We'll say pitch. That's cool. Even quieter. Man, there's like a million hi-hats on this track. All right, that works. So maybe instead of the bass, I could bring that in. Let me go ahead and play it back from the beginning. I'll fast forward this part because it's boring. I'll let you know when I do something cool next. All right, so since this track is actually pretty low-key, pretty chill, with tracks like this, I like to just kind of have this free-flowing, almost free spirit, watery, vibey movement moving on top of it, just wherever it wants, right? Which in that case is going to have to be me. I'm not building a modular patch for this or anything like that, but I want to find a good patch on the sculpt that can kind of just play around, play along, because the notes aren't hard. It's just, right? And I'm just going to stick to those notes, those 4 notes. It's more than enough. That's fine. I know Christian Henson I talked to him on this hiking trail thing here in LA, and he was like, yeah, one of my favorite projects was making a song with only 3 notes. So if he can do that, 4 notes should be enough for me, right? So let's see if I can find something that works on here. We'll just go to a different preset. Oh, I just found our bass. Okay, hold on. Airy, liquidy, weird, hippie talk. You need to take a second. I need to lay this bass down. That's kind of cool. I like that bump, bump. Let's get that in. Cool. So you can hear that I accidentally hit this note because it's just touch surface weirdness, right? But it's actually kind of cool. I like having little things like that in there. It's fun. It's real fun, my friend. You should try it. Let's see what else we got going on. So I want to add a crash. I love crashes. Crashes sound great. Let's just type in crash and see what we find. I actually kind of like this one, but it's pretty intense. So let me get in here, and we are actually just gonna shave this down a bit and move that over. See what that sounds like. Oh my God, almost blew my ears out. Let's do this again. Yeah, that's cool. Let's go -25. Awesome, and I'm gonna grab a little bit of this, not the whole thing. Duplicate that over here. So the way to duplicate that, you hold down Option on the keyboard, and then you can drag that over. So now that I got that there, do this, go here, press R. It's going to reverse it. That's pretty whack. You know what I'll do? I'll just take a kick out. That always does more, right? Less is more. Why does this not work? Is a question I ask myself way too often. Let's try this. All right, that works. That's better. That's better. We'll go here and turn the gain down on that clip a little bit. That's cool. And another thing, I'm gonna go ahead and slide this over a bit more, just because it's still hitting a little weird. Okay, cool. I like that. It's almost like you need to find the not 0 phase point in the sample for it to actually have a little bit of a pop to help it cut through. While I'm here, I'm gonna go ahead and add an EQ8. The way I've been finding these really fast, by the way, Command F brings up your search. I just type in 8. I tried typing in EQ, but EQ3 keeps coming up before EQ8. So EQ8 here, I'll just type in 8. And I'm just gonna add a super duper low cut. And while I'm here, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna set this to 100, and I'm gonna set it to a bit of a softer cut. So we'll put this at 120. I'm gonna right click this, And I'm going to say save as default preset because I use this a lot, especially for recorded sounds, because you don't want any extra bass just kind of getting in the way. So that's here. And if I really wanted, I can just go hold this down, hold down Option, and you can see that the little paper turns into a plus. Boom, I'm going to copy that here. I'm going to copy that here. And just copy that on all of these because they are all not basses and I don't want them to have any bass except for the kick. The kick is fine. And this is kind of what I meant by doing some light mixing just to kind of speed up the process later on and just to help us when it comes to making the song sound a little better as we make it, because you don't want your song to sound like crap and you have to imagine it's sounding good later, and then you just waste all this time and it just never ends up sounding good. Sad story, but true story. And you can tell we're only like barely 15 seconds into this song, right? That's cool. This is still a little loud for my taste. All right, I like where this is going. I like where this is going a lot. So I'm gonna go ahead and take this. Oh yeah, that's cool. That's really cool. So now I can go here, get rid of these, and I'm gonna zoom in here again and get rid of this last one. Actually, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna just move it over 1/16 of a step. Okay, so a lot just happened there. You heard that, I know you did. I'm gonna move a lot of this stuff over onto this 16th of a step. You can see that this one is like way the F off, but that's okay. I'm gonna just manually move that without being stuck to the grid. So when you're dragging it over, just hold down Command on your keyboard. Forgive me, Windows users. I tried live on a Windows computer one time and all hell broke loose. So I'm back at Mac. And this bass note here at the bottom hits a little hard, right on that offset kind of thing, right? Because we want to hit this little level here and we are there. So I'm going to just manually move that over. So let's see. Oh, that's cool. I like that. But this little doom, you got to go, bro. Peace. And we can even cut these out, right? We can just give a little bit of a tension. Yeah. Yo, see how smooth that rolled into everything else? So we cut some things out. We brought in this little airy synth. This is nice. There's still one hat in there doing so. Ah. There you are. I kind of liked it in. Let's see what it sounds like reversed. Sounds super whack. I like it. I like that because it still gives the tension, but there's still something to kind of grab onto, and that's kind of your rope out of the hole, right? So that kind of brings you back. And now we're back here kind of grooving out to this, right? Let's see if our other part that we got here will work. This is of course way louder because I added effects on it on rhythm. I think I added like the chorus and stuff. I find kind of going by the waveforms, oh man, here comes the internet. I find going by looking at the waveform, it looks good, right? Actually kind of does help audibly match volume. But of course, go by your levels, please, and don't do what I do. This is not financial advice. See, that kind of works. All right, cool. This is cool. I like this a lot. So here we need to reduce it even more, right? So I'm gonna reduce this. I'm gonna get rid of this. I'm gonna get rid of this here. And if we're looking at this as a whole, here's all our drums. Here's like our hi-hats, that little knock sound, and this is gonna be the second half of the little breakdown, right? Just before the minute mark-ish. I want the kick to come back in. I want the clap to be gone. I find that when the clap or the snare, whatever it is that's happening on the 2 and the 4, it helps kind of build up a little bit of, I don't know what to call it. I just keep calling it tension. I'm gonna keep saying tension. right? That's cool. The hats, they keep doing that dancing thing where they're going back and forth between the ten, 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 which I don't want it to do, but let's see what happens if we bring back this little spot that we had here at the beginning that we found by accident. Ah, I got it. I got it. We're gonna do a fake breakdown. So I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna set this up real quick. So basically we're gonna do this. I'm gonna do the reverse, but without the crash, right? And then here is where we go into the actual thing. And this isn't so much mixing, but more arranging, I'd say. So I'm gonna grab utility and I'm putting it on the main open hat section here. And I'm just gonna start fading it down because instead of just cutting it out as a whole, I would like for it to slowly disappear without anybody realizing it. But eventually you realize, wait a minute, wasn't there a hat here at some point? And I need to make sure I put another dot here so it comes back in at some point. Awesome. Let's get rid of this. Okay, cool. So this is a perfect example of what I was talking about earlier. You see this section here? This is deactivated, but I know that there's a clap right here. I feel like I'm playing Minesweeper. I'm gonna go right here and select it, and boom, there it is, found it. Cool, so it's back into this, and we're gonna go super reducto mode, bring that in here, show all our tracks, and I'm gonna grab this crash, bring it here, get rid of this, and I'm focusing in on this little section here, right? And what I mean by reducto mode is I just need to make some cuts and simplify this as much as possible. When I'm here arranging a track, there's rarely anything on my mind other than the track and Rick Rubin and how he just makes everything as simple as possible. So I'm trying to get to that. I think this can go. I think this can go. I think this can go. And that synth part is gone. And this can go. Yeah, I think this works. I think this works. We'll do this, we'll do that, this. This is the bass. We need to bring the whole actual bass line back in. We'll do that here. And see what that sounds like. And I'm going to cut the bass out right before it drops back in. Cool. I like this. I like this. Maybe I can leave this out. Okay, I like where this is headed. We're keeping this track kind of soft, really low key, and I'm hearing this kind of like synth sound that I want in the background. Actually, you know what? One of my favorite artists, I have a link to their music down below, please go check it out, is J. Daniel. His synthesizers and the way he mixes his synths and mixes his tracks are incredible. They're very percussion heavy. There's a lot of synthesizers, a lot of samples, but the synthesizers in particular are almost like so beautifully bandpassed and way, way, way in the background. Like, go listen to the entire Broken Nose, Knowz, album by J. Daniel. Link down below. Paradise Valley track, chef's kiss. It's so good. But he has this bip, bip, bop, bop, and it's like way, way in the background, but it's so sick, and I love stuff like that. So hearing this like little hi-hat thing back here kind of reminds me of that. Just this like low-key mixing style, right? But this is begging to have another synth part that just kind of like chills out on top. And that's kind of like that watery, flowy, does whatever it wants vibe in the background that I wanted. Is what I was thinking was like a J. Daniel style synth. And I'm not going to be able to nail it because J. Daniel's amazing. And I wish to be there. Let's see what we can get, what we can come up with though. Oh. You know what? For something like this, I'm going to go ahead and record this with the morph down in high pass mode, but the filter turned all the way up. So we kind of get the full sound of it, and I'm going to band pass it in live with EQ, with auto filter. So let's go ahead and record this in. There's a cool little ARP on here. It might work, it might not, you know, let's give it a shot. I kind of like the ARP being weird and doing its own thing, so let's see. All right, cool. So watch this. We're gonna take this, which is kind of off. I'm gonna go ahead and set this to auto. We're gonna zoom into this, and let's see where I change notes. I changed notes right here, and then right here, right? Okay, cool. So I'm just gonna take a little section. Let's just take this, and I'm gonna copy paste this here, 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 and see what this sounds like. And then I'm gonna duplicate this. And I'm going to do a bigger section here for this section here. And all I'm doing with this is, I mean, because it's kind of off and the ARP is going wherever, I want to find kind of the middle ground of this rhythm and the rhythm of the arpeggiator and the tempo of the arpeggiator. So this is set to warp. I'm going to go ahead and loop this. This is actually an easier way to do this, to find like a rhythm in here. If I just solo this, right, this is just our recording. I can move the start point around. Right, and let's see what that sounds like with everything. No, I like this being the one here. Right, maybe I can even shift this over a little more here. No, I don't like that. Let's move this over a little more. That's cool. Yeah, I like that. Let's remove loop. Same thing here. I'm going to go ahead and zoom into this, zoom out. We'll create a loop and then drag this part over. I actually did this in the Ableton One Thing video, finding rhythms within rhythms. That was actually a fun video. Thanks again, Live, for having me, or Ableton for having me. I always get this mixed up. So this almost works. I just want this to be, this one, this is a toughie, right? So let's go do this and let's move it over again. There it is, boom. And then same with this one. So again, this is the longer bar section. We'll go here, select that, zoom this out. And if I wanted, I could do something really weird like this. That's weird, but cool. So I'm gonna go ahead and keep that there. And now we kind of have this cool little weird synthy section, and now we're going to J. Daniel this with an auto filter. I'm gonna go ahead and put this in bandpass, raise the resonance, and then I'm just gonna move this with a down ramp. We're gonna set the rate, my friends, down to about a quarter. And turn this up. Whoa, that went on way too long. So there's that, here's this, boom. And we can get rid of this here. Get rid of this here. And we'll throw this into some reverb. Let's see what. really light, really light, really light. Not a lot. That's cool. And now let's push it even further back, right? Let's do that same thing. Go all the way down, close my eyes, or look somewhere else. I like that. What's that? -4. Not far off, right? We recorded it a little quiet. Yeah, I like this. Cool. We'll go here, get rid of that, and see where else this track goes. Let's see what else we got next. Oh, you know what else we can do here? I completely forgot about this. To let this part shine, even though it's way in the far back and it's really bandpassed, it's in a frequency range that we can make room for, right? So this, if we just look at this section here, this synth sample, I should say, still has the filter wide open. So I can go back into here and actually drop the filter down below wherever this is bandpassed at, or wherever the new synth line is bandpassed at. So it'll sound like this, right? That's cool. I like that. So I'm going to go ahead and just grab it right here, turn this off, and this is going to be just a big me just cranking the filter down basically down to that 0 point, and we're going to just go ahead and slowly bring this back up here. And as we do that, I want to send this off to the delay. Do I have a delay on here? Yes, I do. Select our B send and just turn this all the way up. And I'm going to give the last little bit of it a little push here, and then we will bring this down. All I'm trying to do, honestly, is mask the loopy start and end points, but still have them be loops, because I love loopy music and I love these types of sounds, but I like the crescendos into new segments and different areas of the track. So, for example, here, slowly send off the synth into the delay. Slowly whip this filter down. Slowly bring the filter back up. Have a little hi-hat that kind of rides everything back in, right? So we're just kind of getting this down into a nice flow. Not so just, here's pattern A, here's pattern B. And that's honestly one of the hardest things I find about playing DAW-less sets, is like getting the flow of slowly transitioning from one song to another. And in this case, in the studio, we're slowly transitioning from one part to another. So yeah, I like the way these types of things sound. So that's kind of one thing I always try to focus on. Again, I wanted this to fade out, right? I guess it kind of does if we were to solo this. But it doesn't go on for as long or as intense as I want it. Maybe it's because my feedback's really low. We will set this to 2. Let's see what that sounds like. Let's go even far harder on the feedback. Okay, cool. All right. I don't need to do the utility. I was going to do the utility again to fade it out, have those crescendos, but no, we're good like this. All right, let me take a quick second and listen to this back from the beginning. All right, I hear it. So what's happening is this filter is kind of fading in a little, or fading down a little too fast. I want it to go a little longer to kind of hide this. Even more. Or it's like fading out in the later half of the track. And there's still some hi-hat remnants here. Let me get rid of all these little one-shots. That's fine. You can go. And this, I'll just move it over a little bit. I'll just get rid of you. There we go. That brings it down a lot smoother because we're like building up and then we just like, wait, we just slammed on the brakes. There we go. Now we're back. Now we're back. I'm feeling this again. And you know what? We can keep that going. We can keep this whole little sculpt section going. I'm going to just highlight the section. Command-Shift-D will duplicate that entire portion of the song, and I'm going to do it twice. But I'm going to bring in this synth stuff and just hit 0 because it's just chilling there. And I'm going to cut that one out, the last little bomb of the synth part, right? And you know what I'm going to do again is I'm going to add another line. I'm going to type in OH, which is short for open hat. And that brings up nothing. So let's find another open hat. I think I used that one already. I'm going to use this one here. And I just want this to build up even more, right? So this will be fun. We'll go here. I'll go minus 15. Zoom in. And we're just going to layer this up. But I'm going to get rid of these here. Yeah, that'll work. I really want the that like 909 hi-hat sound. But I clearly don't have it. Let's see if I just go to hat. Okay, this is actually this will work. So let me do this. Let me get rid of all this. And just get in here, zoom into here, set my start point right there. You can go, boom. Yeah, that works, that works. So we'll go here, boom, 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 boom. And let me see what it sounds like with half of these on, just to compare. I can't hear the difference. Yeah, I can't hear the difference. So if I can hear the difference, it's got to go. That goes here, that goes here. So we're going to go. Wait, why are these just gone now? Oh. Enrique, come on, bro. You got the utility gain all the way down. What am I doing? Is that why the energy's gone and I'm trying to add another hi-hat? Okay. So it all comes back here. I wanted that to fade out there, and then this comes back in here, right? And we're going. Okay, and this is where I bring everything in, right? So this is where I want this hi-hats to come back in full effect. We'll do that. There we go. So let's try this again. There it is. And we can go Detroit style. I know I've said this before, where basically things just kind of slowly, gradually fade in. Listen to some more Theo Parrish. You know what I'm talking about. Marcellus Pittman. They just kind of sound like they're making music on a mixing board as they slowly bring elements in and out whenever they want. It's beautiful. Yeah, that's cool. I like this, but this is just loud as a whole. And then we go from that to... Okay, cool. So then we can keep these in. Let's see what that sounds like. Yeah, there it is. So that's just going to be support to the main hat. Same thing, grab all this, duplicate this whole section. Duplicate it again, and here's where we'll go and take these kicks out. But I've actually gone a little too fast, and I don't know how far rhythmically or vibe-wise how this feels yet. So I'm gonna have to go back and listen to a little bit from over here, the first part where it comes in. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead right here and just insert silence. Oh, wrong button. Command I. And I want this part to feel very similar to when we first brought this section in. So I'm just gonna go ahead and copy paste this section right here and see what this feels like, but I want to remove even more. Yeah, so this has all got to go. This has got to go. This has got to go. And you know what's so funny? As you do this, you kind of lose track of what you've been doing and what you haven't been doing. So I just realized that these green hi-hats completely got replaced by the ones that I accidentally found at the beginning. But that's okay, because I've realized that now, and I can go back and maybe add them, maybe not. It kind of adds a cool vibe, but let's see where we're at. These can go. You've been in for a long time. And again, that second synth note, I just want to cut that part out. Cut that part out completely. And we're gonna, I like this section here. Let me go and duplicate that again. That's cool. What is this here? We'll do one of these, right? I love that. This is 4 kicks. That's my favorite. It's like, oh yeah, we're back. The kicks are, oh, never mind. No, we're not. I love that. Okay, so lastly, before we roll, because after this, I'm going to add one more little thing, but after this, we're pretty much just going to fade it out and work its way out. And I'm going to leave that up to you to figure out how you want to do it. But long story short, I just slowly start pulling one element out here and there every like 4 bars or 8 bars. But remember, there was this one section where it rolled in really good, and I left one of the hats in. Was it this section here? No, it was not that. It's where I had the bass kind of hit. It's right here. It's right here. It's right here. So this section I really like. I'm going to take this from the bottom, copy that. We're going to go here, and I'm going to add that back to this section here. But instead of here where it led into the breakdown, I want it to lead us out of the breakdown. So we're going to go here, paste that in. I'm going to get rid of this. And I want to just mainly focus in on the percussion stuff. I'm going to leave that out. This is going to have to do this again. And let's see. Okay, cool. Yeah. I like this. So we'll go here. Awesome. Move this here. Move that there. Yeah. Okay, cool. So this hits that again. And this little high energy section, I'm going to take this from here to here, copy that, go here, paste it. And maybe I can remove this little clap. Yeah, that's cool. And then this needs to come back in, this needs to come back in. And this can come back in. Actually, you can stay out. You are just an accent to begin with. You're done for the day, dude. Out for the season. This high energy can stay in. Boom, boom. This is cool. Let's bring the regular hi-hats back in. And you know what? The synths are done. We're rolling this out of here. Yeah, we'll leave it at this. So what I'm going to do here is, we'll do this quickly. Watch this. Boom. We'll duplicate this. By this point in time, our auto filter is going to whip back up, and then it's going to, wrong one. It's going to drop back down to really low. And then from there, we also need to remove some of these things. I'll just randomly select those. These will be gone. And then from here, I can select this, Command Shift D, that will remove some of this energy. And I'll remove a little bit more of it here. And now we're left here. I'll get rid of this. We'll go here, duplicate that one more time, get rid of this, go here, duplicate that again. This entire time our filter's kind of been dropped. We'll go here, slowly start bringing it back up, a little bit of a whip, get this out, go to our delay, and just give it a nice little send off. So push it here, kiss it right at the end. Awesome. That's awesome. Okay, cool. And I just need to add this last little crash right here. Copy it from here and paste it right here. Okay. I think this is good. I'm going to listen to it once more. But I appreciate you coming by. Thank you so much for sticking around. I'm going to listen to this again tomorrow. See if there's anything else I want to add, but I kind of like the vibe of this. This is probably a good point where I take this and I go and listen to it in the car where I am away and not distracted by the timeline and looking at the timeline. But so far it's feeling really good. I like this a lot. It's really chill. It's really mellow. And yeah, has a good vibe. Ends around 3 minutes. Who cares? I don't care. I mean, this track's 107. No DJ's gonna be playing this at prime time. I know my place. That's cool. I wish we used this more, but you can see we used it in this weird 3-bar or a 12-bar pattern, I think, right here. So that might need to be fixed. I might extend that one more and move it over to these. These like colored gray lines actually do kind of help. Oh yeah, I didn't even bring that part back. See, there's a couple things here where I want to go, but this has been going on for so long. I wanted to try this, right, to show you the process of arranging a track, but it's boring. It's really boring. It's a lot of going back and forth and listening to the same thing over and over. Oh, that part's tight. If something does that to your track where it just kind of distracts you, that's cool. Yeah, that high energy part's cool. I like this part, this little build up. Yeah, see, this works. I might go over it once more later, and I'll tell you about all the changes I made to it if I do make any next week. And again, it's always so good to see you. I appreciate you a lot. And again, thank you if you pick up any of the tote bags to help clean up our oceans and do something, right? We got to try something. But anyway, that's not up for me to decide. Anyway, I appreciate you a lot. What am I even talking about at this point? It's late, and I hope to see you again next week, my friend. Until then, you already know the drill. Share the love, share the knowledge. Knowledge is power. Peace. I like that. That's staying in just like that.